So a federal court struck down a college campus speech code. The Washington Post reports here, quote, in Doe versus Rector and visitors of George Mason University, a federal district court struck down a George Mason University speech code that provided a ban on communicating either directly or indirectly by electronic or written communications in a manner likely to cause injury, distress, or emotional or physical discomfort. All right, so understand this. There was a ban at the university, George Mason University to be specific, on communicating in a way that's likely to cause distress or emotional or physical discomfort. That's like putting a ban on life. That's like putting a ban on talking, communication, any verbal communication whatsoever. Because anybody can be offended by something. Anybody can. What offends me is not the same as what offends Bob, and then that's not the same as what offends Rebecca. So they actually banned that speech, which could be considered emotionally or physically discomforting. And, you know, this went to a federal court, and they were like, are you guys mental? This is obviously a violation of the First Amendment because George Mason is a public university. They're like, this is the clearest violation of the First Amendment we've ever seen. You can't just say, hey, if this person's upset by what this person says, then that's it. You know, they're banned, they're suspended, they're expelled, there's punishment. That's basically the exact opposite of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. So this is definitely the right ruling. And by the way, there's a broader issue here too, which should be addressed, which is that on college campuses, there are plenty of circumstances where minority communities and the authoritarian left, some people call them social justice warriors as a pejorative, they've decided that the true liberal position is to stop hurting the feelings and stop offending everybody in sight. So if you say something that hurts somebody's feelings or can be perceived as racist or sexist or this or that they now have a right to censor you because you have offended the PC brigade. Let me be very clear. That is not in reality the liberal position, the progressive position, the position that stands up for individual rights and freedoms. That's the opposite. That's authoritarianism. Now, authoritarianism historically has been more linked with the right. But with more actions like this, it's fair for people to say, no, this is the authoritarian left. And that should also be opposed because it's not the liberal position to try to censor somebody when they hurt feelings. If you think they're wrong, debate them. Have a conversation. Explain why you think they're wrong. And then we all move along like adults. The funny thing is, it's actually a sign of weakness in the ideas to try to censor somebody or punish them in some sort of an official sense because they said something you don't like. That means you really can't defend your ideas on the marketplace of ideas, and you're the insecure one, you're the weak one who hasn't really thought out your position, and you feel like the only way you can win is to censor people. That's the wrong way to go. The right way to go is for liberals and progressives to be liberals and progressives and stand up for those values, which means freedom of speech and freedom of expression regardless of who's offended by it.